Hello and welcome to our live stream of Curse of Strahd as presented by For the Love of Crits. I'm level 1 Dungeon Master Hunter AU. Thank you again for joining us as we continue with our Lost Clerics of Barovia as they journey deeper into the mist. For maps, we are using Tailspire, a new early access program available on Steam. For music, I'm using Sirenscape. Online program allows us to sync our audio so we can all enjoy the same soundscapes. In this world, for Tailspire maps, I'm using a mix of different sources online. Most common and most prevalent is Demongund, a creator of Tailspire maps with a focus on Curse of Strahd. The content of Curse of Strahd, which was created by Wizards of the Coast, says notorious for being a campaign with very dark genres. In addition, this has stuff added in as modifications, mainly by Mandy Mod and Dragna Carta. This program is intended for mature audiences and use of adult language and themes are throughout. Viewer discretion is advised. We're going to be going through, giving a quick introduction, kind of a one-sentence introduction for each of our players, or our characters, I should say, and then we will get right back into it. I believe that Graves was giving the recap tonight, so we'll start with Graves for the quick introduction, with Konareth on deck.
Yeah, I'm Garion, or online I go by either Grand Mage Garion or Noreg King, and I've stated I'm playing Graves, our amnesiac cleric of the Grave Domain, follower of Pharasma. Although his very militant exterior lately, in the dark and in the quiet, his inner thoughts have been not quite what everyone else has suspected, perhaps. Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Cole. I go by Elok Leakim online most of the time. I'm playing Konareth, the Twilight cleric, follower of Selûne, the goddess of the Wanderers and of the Moon. He is a Kalishtar, which gives him the ability to speak telepathically, and that's the only way that he communicates because he has taken an oath of silence as far as speaking is concerned. Otherwise, he's a pretty quiet, reserved, and non-eccentric character.
All right, Onyx, we'll go with you, and then Herbert to follow, to finish us up.
Hey everyone, my name's Josh. I am playing Onyx, our wonderful Warforged cleric in this cacophony of clerics. Yeah, that's me.
Well, I'm Alex, known as Barotheus sometimes. I'm playing Herbert Lightforge, human inventor, engineer, builder, forge cleric of Gond.
All right, well, thank you so much for all the quick introductions. We thank you again all for joining. Again, we ask you keep the chat civil and the comments civil, and avoid spoilers for any Wizards of the Coast adventures, including this one. We're now going to have Graves do a quick recap from the Belfry. And please, for the love of crits, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes. Balaki. This town hides dark secret. Well, after speaking of Father Lucian, I took it upon myself to search around the streets, see if anything else came back to my memory. It did not take long. Soon, I found myself in a location that I knew all too well. I don't believe I have yet shared this memory with the others, but I recall being murdered in the streets. All that I remember is a brief view of a cloaked figure as he released the knife that they had driven into my chest. A rather unique blade as well. one I could not forget. And as I implied, I found myself standing in the exact spot this dark memory took place. After spending some time searching around, I found signs of a scuffle that had taken place some time ago, and blood some months old and dried. I make no mistakes. Or first memory that was slain in this very spot. Given what the father knew of this other Pharasman priest, his disappearance, and his face in my own reflections, I'm beginning to suspect that this memory might have been his, and not mine, but I cannot prove it by any means. Nearby, I noticed a large, more well-to-do home. The sign said Wachter House, and a family crest of an odd mask on it. It may have been late, but I was too preoccupied with my search to care. After knocking, a servant lady answered, and she knew nothing of which I spoke, and said to return in the morning. Perhaps she was truthful that everyone was asleep. As from my current vantage upon this church, I see no lights on in that home. Yet I suspect something dark, perhaps darker than the other secrets this town holds, are hidden within its walls. Well, eventually I made my way back to the church, as I noticed that the guards were becoming suspicious of me. I ran into Herbert and Onyx on their way back as well. Herbert going on about the town's infrastructure. An odd one he is, but he's generally kind and skilled. Onyx was more quiet. I suspect something was on his mind. He did eye me some, but his voice's concerns about my condition. I can't blame him, though. I have concerns myself. But I suspect that his past is also one rife of dark secrets. Perhaps just as many, if not more, than my own. Eventually we made our way back to the church. Theme Conereth had aided the young altar boy with the dishes, and they seemed to get along well from what I could tell. Conereth shares the youthful innocence of a child, in some ways, so that may have helped, and this is despite the things he has seen. I can't quite say yet whether this is a good or a bad thing. Well, then we all met with the father once again, and I must admit, I was deep in thought, amidst much of what he said. But I believe that the woman Herbert and Onyx spoke to's son was in prison for speaking out against the burgomaster. But the father suspects that the son may have been involved in a cult, something like that. He also spoke of the old families, and one caught my ear, the Wachters, as in the Wachter House. Supposedly, they're supporters of Strahd. I'll have to rethink going back on my own. But do I want to involve you this yet, is the thing. I'll have to think on that some more. Finally, Conereth learned of some missing children, it seems. Their names I cannot recall, but they were friends of the altar boy. From what I caught, they were going to head to the lake. Or they were last seen at the lake. Something like that. We're going to the lake to look for them tomorrow, I think, is the plan. Possibly after we'll head to a few other spots around that I can't quite recall. Something about a winery or something to do with alcohol, I think. Possibly go to those after, dealing with the missing children, before eventually coming back here and aiding the father with some sort of holy day in the coming weeks. Graves continues to stare, as he often does, at the flickering light of his lantern as he sits up on the roof. Lady Pharasma, this realm is certainly a dark one. This town full of secrets. But are you even here? And what does that mean for me? Can I depend on your power? Or am I safe from your wrath? The light from Graves' lantern begins to flicker, and dims ever so slightly, before he picks it back up and heads downstairs.
As you turn to leave, the large bell next to you tolls, ringing on its joist,
Oh,
swinging on its joist. You can see
oh,
that the light outside is rapidly fading, though you do not see sun nor moon to be able to tell you where it's at.
a little bit
As
closer to that than I was expecting to go off, but okay.
as you travel down the steps, you see Father Lucian pulling upon the bell tower's rope. He sees you approaching and he nods. He's like, "Apologies, Graves. The townsfolk live by these bells. They have no other way to know when the sun sets."
Oh, it's quite alright. It's not like it's too loud or anything, it just was a bit of a surprise, but it's alright.
He nods and he's continuing. You see that he has a few candles lit. It looks like he's kind of doing his normal nightly duties and prayers. The rest of you would have found sleeping arrangements fairly easily. Also, while I'm thinking about it, Graves, can you roll me a d6?
I sure can. My cat is right in front of my screen. Sorry, buddy. I should go to the right. What board is it that you're on currently?
Sorry. Let me pull everyone over.
I was gonna say it
Yeah.
tells me waiting on GM.
Yeah.
There we go.
There.
Everyone should be over now.
Now I can roll. Only one.
Okay, you add 1 luck point.
I that still gives me a total of 17, so I'm not complaining.
Alright, do you guys have any conversations before you turn in for the night, or you just like, let's sleep, deal with it in the morning?
I
I believe
think
this is your first night in St. Andrew. That since you've gotten to Valaki, you have not stayed a night here yet.
Correct.
it's certainly like probably one of the safest nights we've had since we've arrived,
Correct.
or safest feeling
Other than possibly when you stayed at the
with at the
Burgomaster's
Burgermeister.
mansion, but this one you feel much safer, even if it's just because like you were told about the relics of Saint Angel kind of protecting the sacred ground, and kind of preparing that this land is kind of sanctified, for lack of a better way to say it.
So, feeling like I've got a little bit of headspace that I can spare, I think I would go to Conereth or Onyx and say, would either one of you be interested in letting me borrow your Warhammer for just a moment and making some measurements? I'm working on a sort of a device that might carry a payload along with your strike, possibly an alchemical fire of some sort. I just need some measurements just to make some custom work for you.
Takes this off and hands it over.
Oh, thank you. And he pulls out some like measuring tools and he takes measurements and writes it down and he draws out a schematic.
There's a
Okay.
guy on YouTube that made a home run bat that uses gunpowder. And that's immediately what I thought of. It's hilarious and it's super dangerous.
So I'm thinking of constructing an apparatus that's like a metal frame that like sort of like would hook onto any sort of warhammer and be able to load on like an alchemical fire like on the fly sort of. And so it like carries it on the side. So like, you swing the hammer like straight
Dude,
at the person and stuff. But yeah.
say no more. If there's another use for alchemist fire, I as a DM support it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been very vocal about that. If you find a good way to use alchemist fire, because I love the idea, it's just the execution of it is awful. So, yeah, I'm down for that. Might take you a little bit to prepare something. You'd probably have to find a few unique resources, just because I know your one ability, it lets you kind of transmute, doesn't it?
I could craft it in an hour, basically, if I had all the right schematics, like if it worked, if I knew it worked and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I don't know, like inventing something with the artisan's crafting tools might be more, or the artisan's like gift or whatever might be
Yeah,
difficult. But like
so I'll say
recreating something
this.
I've already made is fine.
What we'll do is we'll kind of allow you to almost do like a Mark 1, Mark 2 type thing that like you can make it, but it might run into issues if it rolls like at a certain amount.
Yeah.
Um for that, and we can kind of discuss like the rules around that um down the road, but I'm totally down for doing something like that. Like maybe it starts out and that if you roll like a 15 or below, it breaks. And then as you refine it, that number gets lower and lower and lower as you find better ways to utilize it.
Yeah.
So kind of like an engineer would do.
Yeah,
So
you gotta work out the prototypes.
Even something like as say like a later on thing could be like a quick application. So it might be something that it's you have to personally install it, and then obviously it's only the one use. But then you might be able to like make something where say like you could give us each like a few of them, and it'd be something that like we could take a bonus action
Yeah, I
or
was gonna say,
something
yeah,
to attach it quickly.
something that can load
get better
potions
and
in
better.
That'd be
there
farther
or
down the road, obviously, but like
Yeah,
And
get better
endless
and better with
improvement.
each iteration.
can I use like sort of like a more in-depth use of like identify, like a restful sort of like meditation use of identify to sort of like discern how to create alchemist fire maybe?
do you have alchemist fire with you?
I have one vial with me.
Okay, so you're kind of wanting to reverse the process, right?
Yeah, reverse engineer basically.
I would say I would allow it. However, you would have to have alchemical tools to do so.
Yeah,
So you'd have to find someone that is like a potioneer, someone that you can kind of separate out the different components and find out the amounts. And you could do it then, but without those extra tools, I wouldn't allow it because just looking at the bottle, that type of thing, you wouldn't be able to work it out as well.
sure. Yep.
Yep.
All right, well that can be a goal.
Yeah. Man, starting right off the bat with
First
I'm
time
inventing stuff.
Konareth swings his hammer, the bottle just goes flying off.
Just
It's
lands
grazed in
over.
the face. Now he doesn't have memories or a face.
I remember I was playing Skyrim, and it's one of the mage students gives you like these scrolls to test out, and it just
Lives
instant kills
Zargo.
you. Yeah, it just kills you. It's like he's like trying to test spells. And that's what I'm imagining, like something like that. That's like the initial stages will not be powerful, but as you use them, they'll get more and more powerful. So that would be how I'll probably rule it for future.
Right on.
I
Right
like
on.
it.
So trial and error. So
Yeah, that's all I got for tonight.
okay. Onyx, Conareth, either of you doing anything?
I would be spending the night in the main sanctuary. Just,
Okay.
trying to connect to my god and have conversations, and that's it.
All right. And Conareth, are you doing anything?
No. Ganareth would probably be going to bed early to get an early rest, to get up early to try to find these kids as soon as possible.
Okay. Me.
When Graves comes down, if he just finds everyone like sleeping and stuff like that, he'd probably do similar to Onyx, just kind of sit on one of the benches, set his lantern down, and do stereotypical kind of just stare into the lantern for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check something real quick.
By the way, I cannot find my token currently, so
I had to just use the arrow keys to have Graves kind of just pop somewhere.
oh, hey, there he is.
There,
Nice.
I
Okay,
put it
good
back
idea.
in.
Thank you.
Sometimes what happens is you're on top of a door.
Oh, on top of the door?
Yeah, and it like freaks out. Like, I mean, it's early access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I was like over
doesn't
like
show
in
up.
this section of the wall or something like that earlier.
yeah. Let
But I
me
mean, I
grab
just hit
something real
a
quick.
button. Is like, oh, there I am.
Cool. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. I'm pulling up some notes because Onyx brought up something I wasn't anticipating appearing in this session, and so I have to grab it really quick.
Your god's gonna show up and berate you.
For not
Oh,
dying.
Yeah.
How dare
think
you
there's a
be the
high
only one
volume.
not to die? You're.
Yeah. You little shit.
You know how much
How
work
you
I had to
level
do
up?
to get you a freaking key without you dying?
I had to pay to win this game for you. I spent $50 on that. Bought the DLC.
Put the guy with the dragon arm there? You didn't even go chat with him!
Okay. Can you roll me
Okay.
a religion check?
I can certainly do. My religion is shit. Hey, I got the same thing on D&D Beyond and in the game.
Nice.
Hey.
Okay.
Rare
So-
occasion you don't have to look at what you got there and be upset.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be like natural one. Oh, but it was a nat 20 there.
Onyx,
Yeah.
as you are sitting there trying to connect with your god, you're kind of staring in, or goddess, sorry. Your goddess. You're sitting there, you're kind of staring ahead, watching a candle as its light is flicking back and forth, back and forth. And while you're in kind of your trance-like state, your vision flickers, where suddenly the candle disappears from your vision, and you now see what looks like a forge fire off in the distance. You kind of recalibrate yourself, uh, continue moving forward. You haven't run into visions like this since before you entered Barovia.
Right.
So you continue staring into the flame. Want to clarify something beforehand. You do have like all five senses, correct? Like you can touch, you can smell, you can
Yes.
okay. I thought you could, but I wanted to make sure because a lot of this is not just vision.
Yeah, I just
As you
go
are
into my inert state where I just kind of charge up by not
Oh,
moving.
sorry. You misunderstand me. I meant in general.
Oh,
Can Onyx taste? Can he
Yeah. Can you taste?
like cuz he can't eat, but can he still taste um like
Hmm.
salt on the air? Can he smell? Can he still touch? That type of thing. Feel heat and those like five senses that you have. And I'm not saying like per the rules. I guess I mean like your
Right.
interpretation of Onyx.
I was always envisioning him to be able to do that with what we wanted to do in the long run.
Perfect. So, you are staring. You kind of go back into your trance-like state. You're staring into the flame again, and you suddenly smell smoke. You look around, and behind you has changed. The entire area behind you is now a large open room, smoke billowing from forges on the ground well below you, and it feels like you're standing upon a catwalk. You very quickly recognize this area as your previous master's workshop, the area that he built his machinations in order to enslave those around him and perform his evil deeds. Before you're able to get your bearings, the floor beneath you begins to move. and you feel a heavy weight fall upon your back, forcing you to the floor. Turning your head as far as you can, you see that other Warforged have fallen on top of you, their eyes dark, with no souls in place within their bodies. You struggle to move, but to no avail. The conveyor belt that you're on is slowly moving forward, and you see smoke billowing ahead of you, where the conveyor belt ends. You know this room, and know this is where your master's failed experiments and his failed servants are sent to die. You're desperately looking around anyway for help. You try to call upon magic, but that wellspring of power is no longer at your fingertips. You don't even feel the holy symbol of your goddess to call upon. Frantically looking around, you see movement to your left side. A nearby catwalk has a man standing upon it. He looks like he's wearing a blacksmith's apron. His head covered in a old medieval metal helmet. The visor pulled down, it dented with years of battle. He has a rasping breathing, the sound of a man who has worked over a forge his entire life, breathing in the fumes of the metals that he uses to create his own weapons. He reaches his hand out to you, his hand less than a foot away from yours, to pull you out from beneath the bodies of your fallen brethren. You see a glow of light underneath his eyes that look similar to that of another Warforged. You hear him in his rasping voice say one phrase, Nimmst du unser Gift? And his hand is reaching out to you. What do you do?
And I have tried to push these bodies off myself with to no avail. Correct?
Yes, and if you decide, like, I want to try once more, you may roll, like, a strength check.
Sure. I will attempt to get out myself first. Just a plain, straight strength check?
Yeah.
Another
Okay.
one.
You push against your against the conveyor belt, and you feel the bodies above you shift, but you're barely able to get an inch or two off of the ground before you fall back down, feeling exhausted.
I look this individual up and down before reaching out and grabbing his hand/wrist.
Okay. You come back to your senses. The smell of smoke is gone. And you're now back in the Church of St. Andrew's. The only difference is you feel a burning around your neck, and the key is warm as if it was just pulled out of a fire, and it cools down quickly back to its cold steel.
I would like to double check the pack that it was in. I never wore it.
Oh, okay. So with that, with the pack that you had it in, it would be burned like a little bit. Now, if I remember correctly, this was like an old iron key, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now when you look at it, it is now a steel key that is like perfectly smooth, as if it's been all of its impurities have been burned away. There's slight burning on the things around it, but nothing is overtly damaged. It cooled down fairly quickly.
Okay. Peculiar.
Aside from that, the night goes without event as you're passing through. Is there anything else anyone was wanting to do other than sleep? Okay, so you guys wake up fully rested. No level up at this point, but fully rested. So we are going to be traveling through the city of Valaki. As I mentioned to you guys beforehand, we are going to be utilizing a party token just to make it a little bit easier for myself to track everything. You guys are woken to the bell marking sunrise, or what sunrise would be in this area where there is uh, only clouds covering the skies. Do you guys have any conversations with Father Lucian or Irina, anyone before you leave the Church of St. Andrews?
Nope, I
Um,
just, after I stop my inert state, would be praying to Akadi of what the fuck just happened.
No worries. Okay, I will need everyone to roll me a d20 for your beginning of the day d20.
$11.
Okay, Herbert,
I got a 19.
19, Graves,
11.
Onyx,
13.
and Conereth.
5.
Okay. Let me add in our new token.
Our beautiful party token right here.
And let me change up some of the atmosphere here. So while it is cloudy, it is daytime, so it's a little bit overcast, but still somewhat bright just without direct sunlight.
Excuse me. And that is why
Uh.
I have an energy drink.
Which way was the there's a fisherman that that lived nearby the lake.
Yes, he had been
which way
mentioned.
is the
His
lake?
name was Bluto. However, they said that he was by the lake, but no one had really given you a direction of where the lake was. Um, I do know that one of you had found the orphanage thus far. So do know the direction of the orphanage.
Yeah, I think I had found the orphanage on my walk around town.
Also, who is controlling the token?
I can do it.
Okay.
So we'll have Alex
Good.
control the token. Is there so where are you guys kind of wanting to head towards first?
Should we ask the father where the lake is?
Well, guys, he did say should bring wine to get Luto. What a strange name. To talk. So, and he had said check with the Wizard of Wines, who is towards Kresk.
Oh, so they have some sort of place outside of town? Would that be where we would want to buy some wine for one person? Wouldn't we just buy it at the tavern or something?
Would make sense.
You do know of a tavern, of two taverns, throughout Valaki. You know of Blue Water Inn, and then of the Blackwater Tavern.
Well,
Wait, I'm confused. Who's Blue Toe and what does this have to do with the missing children?
He's a guy who lives nearby where they disappeared.
Yeah, he was the fisherman by the lake where they supposedly were going to.
He may know something. So I don't know if it's worth investing a whole lot in currying his favor, but
And
I mean,
enough to get him to speak.
we do have a bottle of wine, though I'm reticent to use it. I'll be honest. It obviously was gifted to us by the devil.
I've got some gold. If we want to go to the tavern and see if they have something on them that we can purchase.
I have a little bit too, and I have some artifacts that are quite valuable as well.
Well, why would
Yes,
the
like
father?
Placed upon this necklace.
Why would the father tell us about this Wizard of Wines? If it wasn't important.
Oh, I'm sure they're important.
Notable location in the area, but just a little out of the way for our daily itinerary today.
I'm just concerned with spending too much time.
Yes.
We should probably find out where or how long it would take us to get to the lake as soon as possible.
I mean, if one of you wanted to ask the father or someone, I could go to the tavern and grab some wine.
As you guys are kind of outside discussing, what you can do, you see a familiar face off in the distance. Opening a door right here, you see Vasily von Holtz walking out, smile upon his face, and a book in his hand. And he is locking the door behind him.
Oh
So
yes,
that's
he
the
said
gentleman we met yesterday on the steps, isn't it?
Yeah, did he offer to show us around or something?
Well, you
Or
seem knowledgeable, at least. He might know.
He's the definitely not vampire hunter, right?
Yes. Yes, him.
he's a big fan
Hey, you.
of Van Richten, yes?
Yes, I believe so. He's reading his work. Anyway, hey, you.
He turns and he's like,
My
"Oh,
friend.
hello." And he's like, "Wait, don't tell me. I'm good at this." Graves,
Yes.
granite, Konareth, and Lightforge.
Hey, 2.5. That's great.
Ah,
Excellent.
whose did I miss?
I'm just staring
Onyx.
at him.
Oh, Onyx. I will be sure not to forget it, my friend.
We were close. It was a mineral, so yes, it was close.
What may I be of assistance? I am on my way to return this wonderful read to the bookstore, or perhaps pick up another one in its place.
I suppose we had one question, if you have time. We're heading
Of course.
towards the lake today, and we're wondering if you happen to know what direction that is in and about how long it takes to get there.
Ah, Lake Zarovich. It is.
Yes.
It is north of the village. If you exit the gate, follow the path. It will exit into there. It's about a 15-minute walk, I believe.
That's not bad at all.
Long.
No,
Excellent.
it is dangerous water, so be careful. But, what brings you to the lake?
We heard of some missing children.
Usual.
Ah,
Yes.
yes. I had heard of the children being missing from the orphanage. Hopefully, you are successful in finding more in regards to them.
That's the goal.
Certainly.
Well, if I can be of any assistance, or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're not in tax season right now, so I have much more freedom at this time of year.
Are you a
Than
tax
usual.
collector?
I'm an accountant.
Ah.
Per se. I help balance the books. I don't go around and collect taxes. Usually that's left to the guards and Isaac. But
Well, that's fair. I knew an accountant back home. Interesting fellow. His name was Carl. But a little bit of a furry one. Pointy ears.
huh. The only pointed ears fellows we have are the elves to the south. But
Yes.
other than that, but I must be on my way. As I said, I'm going to, I'm heading to Janovics and Sons to take this book there. Wonderful read on some of the uh, ancient wars. Uh,
It was the one by the doctor, correct? Or is this a different one now?
the Janovics and Sons.
The book.
Oh no,
Does
this
it
is a
It was the
different
Van
book.
Richten book.
Um, and this one is one that I had picked up, just kind of curious of, um, kind of the history of the land and uh, things like that. I find it, with how old my family has been here and not really having anything else to study, I try to learn more about the land. Uh,
Well, certainly, it
Okay.
sounds like you are a hungry mind. I don't often find time to read, but I do enjoy it very much when I have, you know, restful periods.
well, perhaps I can let you borrow a book or two. I have a large plethora and some that I wouldn't sorely miss if you were unable to return them being in a different village or something like that. I'll go through my collection and see if I can gather some for you.
Oh, that is so kind of you. I do very appreciate your generosity, but we are sort of in a little bit of a hurry here as well, so we'll have to let you go, I believe. But
Of course. Well, perhaps I'll see you in the Blue Water Inn later.
Yes,
very well,
perhaps.
yes, perhaps you will.
He is going to walk ahead. I'm not going to walk him all the way along with you guys, but he goes kind of straight ahead here and then turns off.
All right.
So we would.
Well, that
We gonna
tells
head
us
right
where
out?
the lake is. Now we just need wine.
Well, I suppose we could
Is the
go to
blue
the blue water.
water or is the blue water or the black water closer? Just whatever one's closer, we could try there first.
So Graves and or not Graves, sorry, Onyx and Herbert, you guys would have seen both along your way home, and you would know that they're actually right next to each other. Um,
Even better.
so
You get kicked out of one bar, you just
Stiff
walk next door
competition.
to the other.
this one is Blackwater Inn, and this one here is the Blue Water Inn, or the
All right.
Blackwater Tavern, Blue Water Inn.
Shall we try the tavern or the inn?
Well, I mean, the Blue Water Inn sort of has a better reputation, I think. But, I mean, you know, either
We
one
could try the
is
blue
just
water
sort of have a
then.
wine.
And
mean,
I
that's my
imagine they
opinion.
both do.
Yeah.
If it's a better reputation, we're less likely to run into any unsavory folks. Not that it's very likely, but I wouldn't want to be slowed down by that, so.
Herbert, as you approach, you guys all see smoke bellowing from the chimney of this two-story inn. Several ravens are perched on the gables, watching patrons come and go, and a wooden sign with a picture of a waterfall slings slowly in the wind, stating the Blue Water Inn in faded letters. Among the ravens, however, you do see your friend.
Yes.
I wave. And I break off some rations and I put them somewhere easily accessible that they can fly down and grab them.
A multitude of crows come down and start eating it. Had I given you the name of this raven, or had you
Yes,
given it a
yes.
name?
Yes. I
What
was
was the name
calling
I
it.
had given you?
I was calling them Edgar, but then Madame Eva recognized them as Mirabelle.
Yes. Okay. I wasn't sure if I'd given you the name of this raven or not yet. So yes, Mirabelle is the name of it. It eats some of the rations and then it's going to hop onto your shoulder. And kind of nibble at your ear a little bit and uh just kind of sit on your shoulder contentedly.
We are going to head out to hopefully find some missing children soon. Just keep an eye out. We're headed towards the lake later, so if you know anything or want to help out or something, um, feel free. I don't know if you can, but it would be sure. It would sure be nice. This place is weird, so who knows?
Okay. So
It's actually just been a druid this entire time. One of
I
us
mean, even
dies, we just play Mirabelle.
yeah. I mean, I was like that the crow has a name, so they must be important or something. Like,
do you guys enter in?
oh yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys enter in, and obviously it's very early in the morning, so most of the people that you see in here are kind of mostly eating breakfast, or they are people who kind of had slept the night for before getting ready to move out. You see a number of different people inside who are preparing the tables, kind of prepping for the midday rush, quite early in the day. You see a woman at the counter that looks, and she's like, "Watch, I'll be right there with you. So find a place to sit, and I'll be right there."
Oh well, we were just looking for like a bottle of wine or something,
At
just real
at
quick.
this hour,
Well, it's a
It's a
gift.
gift.
um, I talk to my husband, Erwin, and she kind of busies herself, like she's still cleaning and stuff. And you see at the sound of his name, um, a gentleman kind of look over uh, your way. Um, go- there we go. So he kind of looks over your way. He has a gray beard. His hair uh, is well kept, despite being in such a dismal place. He looks like he's a little over 6 foot and broad shouldered, and but with a uncommonly small like set of legs. That his upper body is much larger proportionally to his legs uh, than otherwise. And
Leg day.
what?
Skip leg day.
Yes.
Just
And
picturing
he's
baby legs from that like interdimensional
no,
cable.
they're like lengthwise they're fine. Like he's still 6 feet. Like he's still taller. Um, he
He's
looks
like a
and
reverse screw.
he sees your party and he's like, "Oh, traveler, come here. Sounds
Hail?
like you
Go on
needed
over.
a bottle of wine."
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, fresh, untapped. Hopefully, I suppose would be
Oh,
nice.
so he looks over and he's like, "I can sell you a bottle of wine, but unfortunately, it is quite costly right now. It'd probably be about a gold for a bottle. Is that feasible for you folk?"
I can front that gold fine, my friend.
Are you sure?
There's no worries.
Okay.
Of
Well,
course. Graves will produce a gold coin.
Well,
Put it right here for you.
he's going to um pull out a bottle, and you can tell that this is a dusty bottle. Whatever it was has been here for a while. Um, for what he's pulling out. Um, he's like, "Are you adventurers?"
Yes.
I suppose, sort of.
Yes, you can call us that.
We're sort of drifting, I guess you could say, but we're
Well,
more clergy.
well, please, I would be very grateful if in your wanderings, if you happen to pass by the Wizard of Wines, if you could please, figure out where our shipment is.
You're missing a shipment from them. I think that we had interest in going that
Oh.
way. Likely not today, but in the next couple days, if I recall.
Well, it would be, very, very, um, good for us to hear. Our shipment is already late as it is, probably about 4 or 5 days. And we are running very low on wine, and the patrons here, they survive on it. So, and our business survives on it as well.
Yes. I mean,
And
Grace will kind of look around. It's like, we have very impressive business at the moment, but after that, that shouldn't be too difficult. We can likely quite doable.
but yes, we are well out of Red Dragon Crush, and we only have Grape Mash number 3, and it is quite old as it is,
The name
which
says
isn't.
a lot.
Yes, it is unremarkable, to say the least, but it gets the job done. Um, but I would be very grateful. I would offer you free room and board while you are here if you're able to figure out and get the shipment to us.
Well, we'll put it on the to-do list.
Thank you.
Yes. Alright.
Oh,
Yeah.
excuse my manners. My name is Erwin Martikov, and he holds his hand out.
We've heard the name Martikov before, right?
Correct. You would have heard Father Lucian mention them.
One of the different families.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm Herbert Lightforge. That's Onyx over there, and Conereth.
I'm Graves. Just Graves.
Does anyone shake his hand, or do you guys leave him hanging?
Graves would
Oh,
shake his hand, probably.
He shakes your hand and he's like, is there anything else I can get for you folk? We have hot food if that is desirable.
Well, I suppose we haven't eaten before we headed out, or did we? I mean, we can eat rations on the way. We're sort of in a hurry, so we can't really stay for food.
Yes, Sufu.
He nods and uh I'll be, if I see any other adventures, I'll also tell them about the Grape Crush. It's first come,
Yeah.
first serve for the free room and board. So,
Oh, of course.
Sure, yes, of course.
Yes.
Well, farewell, and thank you very much for the bottle of wine.
Yes.
It's the
Yes,
blue
friend.
what in?
the Blue Water Inn.
Water.
Making new friends.
All right, well,
Do we know where this Bluto fella is?
Yes, he has a shack out near the lake, which is only a 15-minute walk.
well, I suppose we could just head outside of town. There's only
It
one
should
gate,
be
right? Oh, there's a
one-
gate to the north.
There's a gate to the north.
Let's go that way.
Mm. As a player, I'm not the DM, but as a player, I would probably say that if, while passing by this area, if people made a perception or sense motive against Graves, if they had any interest.
I'm okay with it if you think that. I don't know what you would be hiding, so I wouldn't have called for it. So go ahead if you think that they might be able to. Oh, okay. I see where you guys are passing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
we're right there.
I don't know if I didn't know about it. I think I would rather take my passive. Well,
Yeah, passive makes
not
sense.
because I rolled a 1, but yeah, I think it would just be like my passive is 14 for insight. So if you like,
As you guys are leaving the tavern, though, you do overhear a conversation, between, like a shopkeeper here and another man, and pretty much a snippet you hear. He's like, "No, I'm telling you, the bard knew real magic. Never seen anything like it." And as he sees you guys walking by, he kind of quiets down and he starts talking more conspiratorially with the other man.
So there's a bard in town.
bard. I mean, there's many of them in Waterdeep, but I suppose they would be rare here.
Yes.
They're sorely lacking, I would say. This place could definitely use a good bard.
I agree.
Well, perhaps we'll investigate that later. I'm sure someone else would have heard about him as well, but who knows?
Yeah.
I
As we
will.
blast,
I will actually go up to him and be like, "A bard, you say? I could use somebody with magic. I am slowly turning to metal." Like, just like that.
Oh gosh. He kind of looks at you. He's like, Oh yeah. Rictavio. He's at the Blackwater. He's at the Blue Water Inn every evening." And he kind of turns his shoulder away from you, like not wanting to associate with you at all.
the blue water.
Thank you, good sir. And I
A
just
bard
walk.
at an inn. Whoa. Cool. Yeah. As we passed this spot here, then probably at least Herbert would probably notice Graves looks. He's kind of trying to hide it, but he starts to look kind of uncomfortable and eyes between a spot on the ground here and then this large house over here, just kind of eyes darting back and forth.
Hmm.
I also
Would-
saw Reno add a random token.
Would I
And then remove it.
notice the guy following us?
Roll me a perception check.
Is Josh noticed?
Yeah. Good.
No, I was having him follow you guys.
He's too distracted.
I don't. I am more concerned on my awesome performance that I just gave.
So
Oh,
I
is that
was
Isaac?
actually moving. I was actually moving him back there, and the first player to notice him moving back there could do a perception check, but that was it.
Okay.
So
I also noticed him back
yeah.
when we were just getting out of the
Yeah.
church. That's why I'm
Yeah.
like, he's following us.
I saw him, but I was like, yeah, no, Graves is distracted right now.
Yeah, I don't think Herbert is very perceptive either.
That's okay. We're not being followed. We're good.
Yeah. Bunch of non-perceptive wisdom casters.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, you guys are approaching the gate. You see guards on either side of it. The gates are open for the day. People are starting to travel out of it that need to for the day. The guards wearing their mask with the faux smiles on them are kind of waving to the citizens, kind of watching, making sure that everyone's well. And you hear the scattered phrase, "All will be well," as they are traveling through. Do you guys speak to the guards at all, or do you just kind of pass by them as you go through?
Graves will give like a wave and a slight smile, just a kind of like acknowledgement, but
Nobody else says
All
anything.
will be well.
Then Onyx is the dumbass that says, "If all will be well, or if all was well, then orphans wouldn't be missing as we head out the gate.
And you say that loud enough for
I
everyone to
tell
hear?
it to the guards, yes. And yeah. Like I
As
said,
we
that's
pass
why
by
I'm
them
gonna
on
be
the-
this dumbass that does it.
You there, come back here.
I just turn and look at him.
You best be careful in these parts. Not all are welcome in Valaki. If you're going to be disturbing the peace, then we don't want you here. And we will take any steps necessary to make sure you do not disturb the peace. Are we understood?
Is that what the orphans did?
Roll me.
I'm
Actually,
not being like Onyx at this point is maybe the guards had something to do with this. Maybe the orphans actually acted up.
you're an outsider that's speaking about things he doesn't know. The boys ran away. If they wanted to run away, that was their prerogative. We already talked to the orphanage mistress.
Okay. Just turn back around.
They are eyeing you
I
like
figured.
daggers in your back as you're going.
Hey, two of us have got on the bad side of the guard already.
That's yeah.
I'm not their biggest fan either.
Graves
So-
had to sneak around because he's like, they're suspicious of me, and I don't want to get thrown in jail. I'm
I
gonna
was-
run away.
I was fully expecting Conerth to say something about the orphans there. That's why I was like, nobody else is saying anything.
How is he gonna...
Graves was debating giving an intimidating glare if it went that way, but then they're just like, they ran away, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. But if they had kept threatening Onyx, Graves might have stepped in. But
Okay.
Graves has some suspicions of these guards.
Sure, at level 3 we can take on a whole town's worth of guards, right?
Yeah,
Certainly.
it's okay. Graves is starting to formulate some
Actually-
plans, but nothing so bold.
Holy. This is my first time being on this map, but it started me way off to the side.
For Canarith, it's a mixture of one, his mild-mannered character, and also the fact that like getting into a tussle with guards right now isn't going to help them save the orphans.
Well, that and you also kind of have more respect for guards and the government in place, and Onyx doesn't. If Onyx was
Graves doesn't
smarter-
have a lot of experience, so he's kind of like could go either way. But these ones are all sketchy.
Let's see.
The Sirenscape relaxing waves. That makes me even more nervous. Nothing is just nice and relaxing in Barovia.
You never know.
Sure it is. You
There's
just have to
totally
be
there's totally a
All as well.
spa that is just like
Oh yes.
I got a
no
Springs.
it's like hot springs
And
that they're totally not
onsen.
cooking the people.
Yeah, totally. Not.
No,
Maybe
this
there's an Oni at the hot springs. Some kappas.
It's relaxing at the top of the waterfall. It's just when you hit
Yeah.
the bottom is when it becomes unrelaxing.
Exactly.
I mean, it's super relaxing while you're just floating, basically. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
the sudden stop at the bottom, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. A little bit of a letdown.
One could say.
Mm.
There we go. It was giving me some issues with the path. There we go.
Technology having issues. I would have never guessed. I am shocked. Flabbergasted.
I am aghast.
So
Now
this
that
will
I-
not be a 2 scale map. of Lake Zarovich, but it's more so just a representation, kind of a theater of the mind map more than
Yeah.
anything.
That's fine.
So,
Now that I think about it, I'm not sure Onyx would have even heard. GM
couldn't
tried to
summon
summon
me.
us to a
Summon us
board,
to
but
the
we
board.
couldn't find the specified board.
Specified board.
so search for lake. You might
Uh,
have to manually join it.
Okay, I got it.
Lake.
I think that
Found it.
happens when I add it after
Yeah.
people have been in the game already.
Yeah, it's loading it now for me. There we go.
You
Found
will have to
little
click to
gelatinous
get pulled
cube.
to your token. Okay.
oh,
I
there
don't see
is
the
a
water. I
waterfall.
just see a bunch of brown
The
dirt.
dirt is water. It's covered
That
in
was my
water.
assumption.
Yeah, it's covered in water.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
There.
There it goes.
There it is.
There it
There's
is.
the water.
There. I
There it
increased
is.
the water level. So makes it a little bit better for this front.
Right.
So
Well,
fancy
I
looking tree.
assume we look for
So
Wow, that
as
can
you
go
guys
well.
as
Really
you
long, man.
guys walk forward, you see that Lake Zarovich is nestled in a misty forest. It's there we go, misty. It's nestled in a misty forest. The water is perfectly still. It's dark. It's reflecting the clouds overhead like a monstrous mirror, as well as the mountains that flank the rest of it around the far edges of the lake. On the shore nearest you, you see that there are 4 small rowboats. A lone figure sitting next to the one, and it looks like he's preparing to shove off for the day.
Oh, sir, do you have a moment?
What was that?
You're about
Would you
alone, Savior.
perhaps be Pluto by any chance?
Bluto.
Pluto, yes.
Pluto. Yeah.
Apologies.
He got this guy is someone that has doesn't appear that he's ever really shaved ever in his life.
Yes.
Or bathed for that matter from what you're looking at. Or smelling. He is kind of sitting there. You can tell that his hands are that of someone that works with them quite often, covered in dirt and blisters from the ropes and things of his different boats and things of that. You can see that he has fishing gear near him. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Bluto. What's it to you?"
Well, we were wondering if perhaps your honorable craft has gained you any insight into a recent situation here. Some children are missing, and we're wondering if you know anything about that situation. You know, if
I might. What's in it for me?
well,
Graves will kind of like pull out the bottle of wine, but not give it to him yet.
Oh.
We may have some liquor on us.
Oh,
Willing to part with for the right information.
well, what's the yeah, the right information.
Just
And he
whatever
kind of
you
wipes his
actually know.
mouth, drool dropping from it, and he's like, "What do you need to know? I haven't caught fish for a little while,
That's
so don't know a good fishing spot."
have you seen any children
Yes.
playing by the side of the lake or anything like
3
that?
boys, I believe. Is that correct, my friends? 3 young boys come down this way.
Yeah, I might have seen him. What of it?
Would you ever know where you last saw them? Where they went?
They were by the forest there. They ran off that way. Told the guards about it.
Which way?
He points over here towards the forest. He's like, I think they ran around the lake.
Around the lake.
Guards didn't follow him,
All
though.
right.
Too dangerous.
Of course.
Werewolves and all that.
Oh, interesting.
Werewolves, you say?
Give me the wine and I'll tell you more.
Well, I mean, how do
Can
we
I
know
roll?
you?
Yeah. Do I believe him?
Roll me an insight.
All right. Roll me well. 15 plus skills. Insight plus 5. That's a dirty 20.
Okay, so you can see that he is like almost foaming at the mouth. Like he's salivating so much. His eyes keep darting to the wine in your hand. He does not have any thought of anything else in the world other than that wine right now. Um,
I'll give him the wine.
what?
If he wants the wine that much, then he has no reason to lie to me.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
all my friends.
While they're talking to him, Conereth kind of makes his way over. I don't have something to represent with, I guess. Actually,
Yeah.
I can do this. Kind of like walks over to the area that he was pointing and is just like not leaving the party, but just looking for any looks like paths, like walking paths or things that something that would be obvious that they would have taken.
yeah, for sure. Um, so as you're kind of looking around, can you roll me a investigation check, Conair? And then you hand the wine over to Bluto, and he grabs it, and he is starting to open it, but he's still kind of talking as he's going. He's like, "So, woods here, most people, not me, don't like to be by the lake because werewolves and the like and dangerous water, but I'm the only one that fishes here. So, uh, but and he's you can tell that he's like losing his train of thought. He's trying to get the cork off. Um,
Would you like me to open that for you, friend?
I got practice, and he's
All
he's
right.
pulling, and he strains, and then it pops off, and he's like, and he just takes a large swig of it straight from the bottle. And then he's like, the not many people like to go here. Werewolves too dangerous, even for the guards and stuff. I heard some adventurers get their weapons silvered in town, but don't know much about it. Probably talk to Rowley. And he
Rowley?
takes another
Blacksmith?
swig, and he just nods without like stopping drinking as he's going.
Should we go back and sell our weapons before we continue? Will that take long? Do we have the funds? Or should we rely on magic?
Well, we have silver coin, and perhaps I could do something to the weapons. But
So you can enchant a weapon, the magic of that would normally allow you to damage such a creature still, wouldn't it? I'm not very familiar.
I think we had determined that, vampire and the like could be damaged by magical and silver at some point.
Oh, quite likely. I rely mostly on
Or
spells at the moment myself.
rather less silver. They're not affected by silver, but magic.
I got
But
11, by the way.
Okay. As you're looking, you do see that there is a game trail that you would think that would be what most people, especially if they don't have much knowledge of the forest, they would kind of just go in the game trails because that's the most clear way as you're going along.
actually, in a pinch too, one of my divine repertoires is that I can imbue weapons with magical energy as well, like on the fly. But I can only do it a couple times. So in a pinch, I think we should be okay.
Mr. Pluto, do you know where these dens are of the wolves that you mentioned?
Somewhere in the mountain overlooking the lake. Don't travel much far past that. And he starts taking a swig of the wine again. It's probably about 3/4 gone already at this point.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, maybe you should take the day off or something. Like,
Nah, I'll catch fish.
Okay, well, just don't fall in or anything.
I'm feeling lucky today. Maybe my dry spell will end.
Has your dry spell lasted a long time?
Right. He starts like counting on his fingers. He like goes like all the way through like his fingers a few more times, and he's like
Oh, yeah,
4 or 5 days.
Okay, sure. All right. Well, we should probably be off. Listen, if there's anything else you know about these children, and the things that happen around this lake, anything you can think of at all, maybe there's some red dragon crush in your future.
He holds the bottle up for you, and he's climbing into the rowboat unsteadily. But Colony just kind of holds it up and takes a swig and starts rowing out. He's like, I'll be on the water if you need me, and bring more. Maybe I'll jog my memory. And he goes out to the center of the lake with his fishing gear.
All right.
Alrighty.
Well, let's look around, shall we?
Seeing the party moving in my direction, I cast Vigilant Blessing on myself.
What
Looks
does
like there's-
Vigilant Blessing do?
The initiative one.
That's the one that gives advantage on initiative roll that I haven't used in a really long time.
You get into Graves a couple times.
I cast it a lot early on, but then I forgot about it for a while.
Oh, okay, got it. And that's something
so-
it doesn't use, like, it's just a feature. It doesn't use any cost other than, like,
You can only be on like one person at
It's
a
one
time.
even
person
better
at a
than
time.
like, yeah, it's even better than like a bardic die in a way because I don't have a limited use. It's just, I guess it's
One
limited
person.
use is like it's per combat technically. Because I can only cast it on one person, and it only is used up when they roll initiative.
And
And then you can just give it to them again or somebody else or whatever after that.
as a housekeeping note too, I shifted my blessing of the forge to my armor, so I have
Okay.
+1 AC.
Sounds good.
I don't think that what's her name? Which I can't remember her name right now.
Irina?
Irina, yes. I wanted to say Isabella, but I was like, that's not right. That's not right. Irina, yeah, I think she'll be fine, and well, she's not going to use a +1 AC for now, at least hopefully.
I noticed game trail in here. Might be an obvious point for the children to take. A little bit
Yeah,
easier to
right.
travel through.
Great place to start.
And I agree.
Are you guys going down the game trail first or heading to check for the silver thing first?
I think we should just head down the game trail because I can enchant weapons on the fly.
Normally, aren't things like werewolves and such more so transformed at night as well?
I mean, they
Normally,
probably prefer to hunt at night because they're heightened senses.
Everyone roll me either a nature check or an arcana check, I would say.
Anna's my better one. It'll be 13 plus 16 for Graves on Arcana.
Ooh. I got a 14.
13.
6.
Okay, so Graves would be the only one
Like, what the fuck's a were creature?
that would know. When you say that, you're trying to kind of think, and you think of in your study of like the undead and stuff, and like to see how they were killed. It also kind of crossed over into werewolves and how they were imbued. So you actually know that it's a common myth that they can only transform at the moon, but they can actually transform at will between human form and their wolf form. You also know that they are very strong against anything non-magical, and even magic doesn't always do great against them, especially if they're in packs.
So, that is it. I think I recall a little bit of information about these creatures. I learned a little bit. Everyone thinks they can transform just in a full moon. That's a lie. Maybe more common or something, but they can transform at any time. And their non-magical attacks are not as effective, but even sometimes magic is not always a guarantee, especially if there's a bunch of them. But I mean, normally if there's more of something, it's more dangerous anyway. So,
Well,
they are definitely dangerous.
I mean, I would be reticent if I did not bring up the fact that this situation seems pretty similar to one of Madame Eva's predictions.
Yes, there was something about a wolf
There's
on a lake.
flanking mountains, wolf den overlooking a lake, mountain lake. So
Yes. Was that a good or a bad reading, or an
I think it was
ambiguous
supposed
one?
to be an ally, wasn't it?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
I
Remember?
recall correctly.
I
want to pull it up.
Yeah,
It's in our hand.
it's in handouts. Can't read it.
Yeah. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection.
good.
A holy symbol of great hope.
That might mean that this. I mean, if we are to trust Madame Eva's fortunes, perhaps.
It's just a
Perhaps it's
giant
not-
sign of a Akadi.
Yes.
And then I look at the other three. Ha ha! Told you!
I mean,
that makes it feel better, at least.
And then I
Doesn't
turn around
mean-
to leave, and there's all three of the other ones. Fuck!
I mean, for all we know, maybe they're protecting this symbol of good or hope, or like shielding it from us, and we'll have to defeat them to get it or something.
Also true. I mean, it is what. It's not like we can change whatever it is before we get there.
But we can try to be prepared.
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
as Konereth has pointed out, more time we wait, the
Yeah.
greater chances of the orphans not making
Yes.
it home.
And I don't know how
way
much
they
it would
left.
cost to silver our weapons, and I don't know how long it would take.
Yeah. So I don't think it's an option at this point.
Yes.
So
As I said, I don't really use much weapons myself anyway. So,
well, we
thinking
best,
about trying to learn a little better, but that's not going to help me right now.
well, maybe Onyx or Corneth could show you a thing or two. They're pretty good with their
Yes.
weapons.
That's true.
Swing hard?
I'm thinking of something a little more. He could have put in a dagger. Stabby, stabby.
Put your
That's
strength. Just pull your strength meter all the way up to 100%. That's all you got to do. You're like, how hard do I want to swing today? 100% slider bar.
So it's decided. We move forward.
Yes. Let's go.
And with that, Konereth just beelines.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
unless you have any reservations, he's gone.
I think he has.
Hold up, Brad, I'm coming too.
Okay. So,
Which way did we go, left or right?
so to the west is where you went. So
Right.
over here, yep. So, we're going to be kind of doing theater of the mind, for a lot of this. And you guys are starting to delve into the forest, and here we are going to take a bio break.
Excellent spot.
For us to do that, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of transitioning on my end here. So, for that.
Yeah.
So, we'll be back in a few minutes, probably 5 to 10, and then we will continue from there.
Right. See you all soon.
All right. Awesome.
hello and welcome back. I was doing a little bit of prep in between just to prepare the maps for where we are going to. For as they are traveling deeper into the forest, following the path, I will need whoever's leading the pack to do a survival check for kind of keeping track. Have you seen any? Are you looking for any of the children's footprints, or are you just following the game trail that you had found?
I'm definitely keeping an eye out for
Yeah.
footprints.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that
think
I'm leading the pack, though.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Codenaris is probably leading.
They'd be looking for more clues, but mainly following the game trail.
Okay. So roll me a survival check.
Waiting on GM.
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah,
need to.
'cause the map.
Yeah, let me move back to the map that we were just at. There we go. Now you should be able to roll.
21.
Nice.
Okay, so you're traveling
Good
along.
old wisdom.
You're not really seeing any footprints specifically that you would tie to the children. You are seeing telltale signs that something other than an animal walked through here, like broken branches, things like that. That were almost like off the side of the path, like someone had run over to the side to break something and then came back. Type of things that animals don't necessarily do. So you definitely think that this is the correct path for it, but you do not know. Um, but you haven't seen any particular footsteps to say if this was just another person, if it was specifically the children, or something else entirely.
It looks like this path has been walked. If Buso is accurate about not a lot of people wanting to come out here, then the children might be the only people that be walking through this path.
You mean Bluto?
Yeah, that was it.
Huso, that sounds like the name of some sort of druid or something.
I've never heard of anyone with that name before.
No, never.
I just misunderstood the name, I guess.
So strange.
That's a weird name.
Yeah.
Whoever had that name probably sucks.
Yeah. It's like what even is that name? It's like nothing. Who?
Yeah.
So? So what?
So, as you guys are going, how long are you going to travel before you look at turning back? Is it like, are you guys traveling like for an hour? Are you
It's nothing.
going to what?
We got all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, as long as
Gotta
there's
find the kid.
consistent signs, like if the trail went completely cold, then it might consider
Yeah.
like more investigation. But otherwise, as long as there's a clear throughway, we'd probably just keep following it. And
Okay.
I'd keep looking for more evidence if there was any. But
Yeah, for sure. And I'll just allow you to utilize your survival check as you're going along. So you're traveling probably about an hour and a half along the edge of the lake. This is a very large lake. As you're going along, you definitely, um as you are going. Let's see. Okay. So as you are going, you do find that there is a series of it looks like there was almost a clearing made off to the side of the trail. Um You see pile of sticks as if someone had attempted to make a fire, but no evidence of it actually burning or anything like that. Looks like a rudimentary camp that you see here. Uh, at first glance, it's just kind of an empty camp.
Hmm.
Well, is there any signs that anyone stayed here recently, maybe?
Roll me an investigation check.
Sure.
Like a
You
hand.
say there was an attempt at a fire or a successful fire?
An attempt. It looks like they're like teepeed
How big a
for
TP?
creating fire. Um,
Like maybe someone watched someone else make a fire and was like, "I'm gonna try and do that," and then
Yeah. Does
yes.
TP
probably
look like,
figured
hey,
it
a
out.
bugbear would use this, or like a human, or like a halfling?
So, as far as the size, the sticks are all about a foot long. Looks like mostly twigs. Things had fallen on the ground. Nothing like chopped up, like they had cut up firewood or anything like
Mhm.
that.
So kind
Um,
of basic scavenging.
for it, yeah. So,
I was an 18
um,
on the investigation.
okay, awesome. So, you begin kind of looking around, and you do see a backpack, or what looks like a small pack,
Oh,
uh,
I'll check it
in
out.
there. Yeah. So, you find the small backpack. Obviously, it does look like it is much smaller, more similar what you would see for a child. You
Right.
definitely think that this is one of the children that went missing. This backpack. As you flip it over, though, you do see three claw marks tearing through the fabric.
Oh, that's not good. Three claw marks. Oh, that's not good. What is there anything in the bag?
You open up. You see that there's it looks like some bread and like cheese that looks like kind of hastily packed. A little bit of clothing, but nothing like that you would perceive that would be valuable to anyone for like if someone was attempting to steal from them. It's just kind of clothing and rations uh in there.
There blood from
Uh,
the claw
Yeah, I
marks,
was
or
gonna
is
say
it
any
look like it
blood.
just got
yeah.
through the backpack and not to whoever was carrying it?
So it was only through the backpack it tore into the clothes. So the
Mhm.
backpack itself does have tearing in it, but the holes it did not go through. You don't see any sign of blood on the backpack or around the campsite.
No like scuffle signs, or like is it just the claw mark that we see? Like no signs of a struggle
The
besides?
claw mark is the only thing you see, and you see no other backpacks, no
Hmm.
bed rolls, anything that you would expect for someone that had been setting up camp and was hastily taken away. The only sign that you see of anything happening here, other than the fire pit, is the backpack that was left behind.
Well, looks like we're headed in the right direction.
Yes.
Yes.
What time is it?
Right now it's like I said, you only traveled into the forest about an hour, hour and a
Yeah.
half. Doesn't look like they had gone very far before they looked to go camping for it.
Uh,
So it's probably closer to 10 o'clock right now.
Yeah.
Well early into the day. Um and you're right next to the edge of the lake still, so you don't feel like there's any worries of getting lost in the forest, and you suspect that the boys kind of stayed close to the lake for this reason.
I don't know if I fully buy the running away thing of this, considering they tried to make a camp so close to the town, yet they did say not many people come into the forest here, but they have some clothes, but not much in the way of rations.
do we know anything about werewolf ecology or anything like that? Uh, like obviously they like to travel in packs, yes, but how do they
Yes.
expand their packs? Do they do they actually reproduce, or do they have to turn people in order to increase their numbers?
Yeah, would Graves know about that with his roll from earlier?
What was your roll earlier?
16 Arcana.
So, you would know that they definitely can infect, but you do not know for certain if they can breed.
I know that they can infect others. Whether or not they can breed, well, I mean, normally they're humans or elves or the like as well. Whether or not that means that the offspring would be a werewolf as well, I'm not sure, but I'd imagine they can breed in some form. Whether or not they breed true, I suppose, but they can certainly infect others.
I'm just wondering if they're trying to increase their numbers or something like that.
Yes, and if there's
But-
not much of a struggle, well, I suppose if the children were running away, I mean, what if they had met these creatures before, and they left to join them? I don't know. I'm just
Well,
throwing out ideas.
how old were these children again?
Look at
Did
Canary.
we-
Oh
did we-
man. Um,
We're talking
How
like
old's the altar boy?
6, 8, 12, 15.
of course you would ask. Um, just when
87.
I
They're
pulled
elven
up like
kids.
all the other stuff.
Like, what purpose would they have to take them with them? I mean, other than like maybe the worst possible, just
Yeah,
eat them. Or
that
something.
or like expanding their ranks.
But
That's
I
all I
think,
can think of.
yeah, I'm just like, yeah, maybe I don't know.
And probably wouldn't
I don't
be
know how
hard to
I-
convince kids that live in some orphanage in town to be like, hey, we got a cool loving wolf pack where you can become a werewolf. You should join us, and you don't like living in the orphanage anyway. Probably wouldn't be the hardest sell.
Certainly not.
If we weren't already, Conareth would say that we
8 to
should
10 years old.
8 to
talk
10.
while we
Yep.
or walk while we talk, and just kind of keep going forward.
Well,
Continue
does the
just down the
trail
trail?
keep going, or? Yeah,
I mean, it's a game trail, so it obviously like it drops in and out um for it, but um it does continue kind of around
The
the edge of the water.
the card from Madame Eva said that the werewolf then overlooked the lake. Would that perhaps be alluding to it being more up higher, say like where the waterfall is?
Waterfall does not exist there. With this being just originally
just a
a
straight
theater
lake?
of mine, it is mountains on the other side of the lake.
So would they
There-
possibly be more that direction? Over there.
I think so. Yes, that sounds. I mean, if we're to put any stock in this fortune, which, let's be honest, things have come up. So
Yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing to go on.
You guys all have the exact same passive perception, correct?
I have
Except
1
for
point
her.
lower. Yeah.
Everyone has 13, and then you have 12? Or...
Yep.
Okay. Let me... Okay.
I mean, continuing along this trail along the edge of the lake is. Unless we
Oh,
see
yeah.
signs that they go elsewhere, probably as good a bet as any.
Yeah, we can continue to follow it. Does it lead towards the mountains? I mean,
But I mean, if it goes
obviously,
around,
eventually, yeah, it goes around. So yeah,
once it eventually gets there.
we're looking at a multi-day journey, though. If we're going to go to
Probably.
the mountains.
What order are you guys walking in?
I imagine
I
Conareth.
think Conareth is taking the lead.
Graves would
I
probably
don't
aim
know
to be
about the
like
rest.
middle somewhere. Being the
I-
least armored.
I'll be second, and then Graves would be after me, and then
And then
probably
Herbert,
Onyx.
or Onyx, yeah. That's his name.
Unless
We have two
I
Herberts,
can take the
don't you
flank
know?
if you want.
adding your guys' tokens.
Nice.
Oh, I accidentally clicked dice instead. And then Onyx. Okay, so we had Conereth, then Graves. Who was in the back, Onyx or Herbert?
That's Conera, Herbert, Graves, Onyx. I think that's what we said.
Yep.
I am not.
Okay.
Oh, let's see.
I don't think any of us really are
No.
in particular.
No, you guys do not have a ranger
Yeah.
in your...
We are all city or town folk. Mostly
Yeah.
towns. Small towns, but
Yeah, your elemental deity there. Maybe she can help us out.
yeah.
Ward off her lightning storms.
Hades, what are you doing?
Okay.
Cats, man.
So as you guys are walking along, you guys are just kind of talking as you're going along. I kind of checked your guys' passive perception for it. Onyx, you all of a sudden hear a branch snap behind you to your back right. And as you turn to face, you see what appears to be a large wolf diving straight out of a nearby shrubs. Humanoid form, and it takes a slash at you. I need you guys to roll initiative.
This is where we die.
What day it is?
Oh boy.
Benair's got advantage.
Roll initiative.
16
where'd my-
plus. What's my bonus?
Where did my roll go?
My rolls in D&D Beyond have been amazing.
I'm sorry.
I got
And
18 on
then-
Graves.
This stupid program has made sure that I am not
It's
rolling.
just like, no.
Ooh.
Got a nat 20 in D&D Beyond.
Ah.
And then my last two rolls have been like 19, 18s. Like D&D Beyond loves me tonight, but because it wants me to
What?
resubscribe.
had to
Now,
put it off.
I know we weren't very far after our bio break.
I tweaked the algorithms.
I was not expecting us to be getting to a battle at this stage of it. Otherwise, I would have done a bio break much earlier in the session, so we'd have time to do the battle.
Oh, already.
So I'm looking at ending the session here, so that next session we can start right in the battle.
Okay.
Just because otherwise we'll have to stop partway through the battle, and from experience, that sucks. Trying to stop.
Battles tend to take a while.
Are you telling
Yes.
me that these wolves are not one-hit kills?
What?
Yes, I'm most certainly telling you that. They are not one-hit kills.
What?
Just tell it to sit.
Bogus.
And somewhat, despite my best prodding as a DM, decided not to get their weapons silvered.
So shorter
die.
session tonight. We're going to be ending a little bit early, depending on scheduling, because these battles can sometimes take a little while. We might do a mini session of just the battle, but we'll kind of discuss it as a group afterwards and see how we want to approach it. Otherwise, we'll just be returning our normal scheduled time in 2 weeks. So thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful time. Look forward to seeing you guys next time.